Last night I had one of the most brutal rejections I've had in a while. It was a huge time investment I put into it, and it ended with nothing. I'm a little bit sick right now because I was out in the cold city last night. Some good things happened. I met a few attractive women. Some of them seemed to like me. They responded. Some of them did not. But one scenario that happened was pretty damn brutal. So I was in a nightclub in Manhattan, and it's kind of like a popular spot. There's a lot of beautiful girls that go there. It's like a very it's kind of upscale. It's quite pricey. If you're just trying to get a table there, you got to pay thousands. But so basically. I meet this girl there, and I'm outside the club, and she's very sexy. She's like one of those girls who's like, she's a redhead, early 20s. She's dressed very, she's wearing a short skirt, super short skirt. She wasn't wearing panties, so that was cool. But so I start talking with her, and she like comes over to me as I'm standing there, and she's like, I remember she just like kind of like rubs up against me. So that was definitely a sign. But she was talking on the phone with someone as she's like coming up to me and like pushing her back into me. And I got excited. I thought she was very attractive. She felt good, like her body had a good feeling to it. She was very soft and super feminine and very cute. I guess you could say the word. Like she was very, very huggable. Let's put it that way. Very pretty face. She gave me a lot of good signs, right? And we actually start. Then she gets off the phone. We start talking a bit, and we kind of kiss actually. Like I go in for a kiss. Like she looks at me and she brings her face really close to mine, and we kiss like very briefly, right? It was super light, and I was wondering why it's light. Like it's as if she's like a light kiss. Maybe she's like thinking of something as she's kissing. Maybe she is, I'm thinking maybe she has a boyfriend or something. The way she just like went in, then it was so, it was slight, and then she like turns away and like looks like deep in thought or something. But then basically we start walking together, and she is acting so like she told me she's not drunk. This is the thing. She wasn't acting drunk, but the stuff she was saying was just out of this world. Like the way she was talking, like the structure. Like I would say something and she'd answer and with something that didn't make any sense. I'd be like, so she was like, so I asked her like clearly, like, are we going to your place? Are you I was like, I told her pretty much directly, I want to sleep with you tonight. Blah, blah, blah. Are we going to your place? And she was like, pretty much like, yeah, are you chilling? I'm like, yeah, I am. And then, so I assumed like, yeah, I mean, that's a yes. So I'm doing everything to get an Uber and everything. I'm a smart guy. Like I've been rejected before, and I'm like careful about like, investing anything on a girl that I just met. And, unless like, it's like, there's like a good reason for it. If there's a girl in the middle of nowhere, like in a dangerous part of New York, and she's super drunk and, she needs help. Yeah, I'm gonna order an Uber or something and help her. But if it's just some random girl, I'm very cognizant of women like just taking advantage of guys. But I had been hanging out with guys, so I had a belief that when you hang out with guys, you'll realize most guys are a little bit more careful what they do. Like they acknowledge your feelings a little bit more. They're more aware. They won't be disrespectful. They'll be careful. They'll be a little conscious of their behavior, and they won't do anything that's, out of pocket most of the time. Most guy friends, will not do something out of pocket. Most guys, all right? Some guys will. Some guys are screwed up, but most guy friends won't really do that. My guy friends, they're good people, So when I hung out with this girl, I was thinking, she's just like them. Like, because we tend to, view people in a way that is it's called normalcy bias. You know, if we're around people who are normally good, we'll just assume other people are good, which is not the case. So I hung out with this girl, and we're sitting on. Oh, this is a crazy thing. She's like, we're very open to each other real quick, because I've sort of vibe to me where I'm very vulnerable and honest to a girl like pretty quick, and I don't hide anything. I tell her like, I think you're really attractive, I want to sleep with you, and I give her eye contact when I say it. I'm smiling, and everything's in a charming sort of way, and usually they like that, right? So I somehow developed a sort of like relation to this girl real quick. Within like 15 minutes, she finally was like, she was telling me that she needs to pee, and I was like, just go over down that way. But wait, before she said that, we were sitting on her stairwell, right? And she's getting random calls from random people like every 5 seconds. She's like picking up the phone. She's like, hello. She's like talking a bit. Then she gets off the phone and she comes back to me, and she's like, hugging me, and she's letting me, dude. She was okay. So she's like, I'm sitting on a stairwell, and she like walks up like right in front of me, and then she like turns around, and her ass is like right in front of me, and I like lifted up her skirt, and she let me lift up her skirt, and like she had no panties on. I was like playing with her ass, like on a sidewalk, and yeah, man. So she was, and as we were talking, like everything she would say, my hand would always be on her ass, pretty much, like as long as we were like close to each other. And so she was, obviously those are signs that she is, comfortable with that, and that she likes it, the fact that she's coming back to me and everything. So I assume all the lights are green at this point, right? And finally she's like, she is acting so weird though, like schizophrenic acting. I don't know. She might be crazy. I don't know what it is. But finally we get a cab, and basically as she's in the cab, well, she actually got an Uber, right? So she paid it herself. I'm like, all right, yeah, I know how these things can go. I know how some girls just use guys and throw them away. But anyway, she got an Uber. We get in the Uber. We're going back to her place, and basically, so she was like, okay, we get out. No, we're in the Uber, and during the ride, she gets another call, and this time it's a guy. And I hear her talking to this dude, and they're saying like romantic stuff together. I don't know what the fuck was going on, but I was sitting in the seat next to her. I was just wondering what the hell's going on. And I think that was her boyfriend. And before we got together, she told me she didn't have a boyfriend. And as I'm sitting there, they started getting into an argument on the phone. They started fighting. I was thinking to myself like, oh shit. And I was wondering, I'm just sitting there. As they're arguing, she like puts out her right hand and grabs my hand, and she's like starts squeezing it, and she's trying to indicate to me, though I'm talking to this guy, I still like you. I think she was trying to do that, right? So she's squeezing my hand. So the argument continues. Then all of a sudden she moves her hand away, and then she seems quiet, and then she talks a bit more, and then hangs up the phone. At this point, she's a bit cold acting. She's not really responding too much to me, etc. We get out of the cab. We go like literally like 15, 20 minutes away from where we were. We go to our apartment, in front of her apartment. And while we're in front of her apartment, she says, I don't think it's going to work out tonight. I don't think I'm going to go directly to sleep. I'm sitting there like, oh my, I spent like an hour with this girl. For real. Like I spent an hour with this girl. And, she was finally like, yeah, I don't think it's going to work out. And I was pretty pissed off because I was like, dude, I just spent like an hour hanging out with this girl. I left a very, very fun part of the city to hang out with this girl. And I'm now in like a shitty area of the city. It's not shitty, but it's like not a fun area, And she's just kind of like, she's just like, yeah, I don't think it's going to work. I'm just going to go to sleep tonight. I'm like, oh, all right. And then I tried to play it cool. I was pretty annoyed by that, but I just played it cool, and I was like, all right, well, yeah, it'd be cool to get a coffee in the future. She says, I don't think that would be a good idea. And I was standing there like, what? Dude, I was in her apartment as she's saying this. I'm like not in her apartment, like room, but like in the building. And, yeah, I was thinking to myself, like, what the hell happened? So what I think happened was, she got in a phone call with her boyfriend. Her boyfriend probably was upset at her or something happened. And then during the ride, she just changed her mind. Either that or she's some sort of sociopath who was trying to like make me feel like shit. I don't know. But that was crazy. Yeah, I don't know, man. That was here's the thing. I while I was with her in the ride, I was thinking to myself like I would never like have a girl like you spend this much time with me and then just like throw her off. I wouldn't do that. As a guy, I just think it would be really immoral and rude, right? I'd be careful with that. I'd be very, empathetic about that. And, but women, it seems like they don't think the same way as we do. They don't care at all how you feel. Zero. If they want something or if they don't like something, they will make it clear that they don't like it, or they will try to change it without any regard towards the guy. So she knew that I just was with her for like an hour. And the way how easily she said, I think I'm just going to go to sleep tonight. She was telling me that she pretty much wants to get together tonight. She was bringing me back to her place. She said, we're going to my place. And we got an Uber for that reason. And then when we get there, I got on a phone call with some dude. And I guess she changed her mind. And but the way how easily she was just like, yeah, I don't think it's going to work. I'm going to go to sleep. After I was with her for like an hour, hugging, kissing, etc. We kissed one time very lightly, but still, we were together for a bit, and she was making it clear that she wanted me to come over. So the fact that we, and then at the end of it, to even say like, when I asked her number, when I was like, I think it'd be cool to get together in the future, she didn't even give me her number. So I'm thinking to myself like, I would never do that to a girl, So. Yeah, it's just strange. It's just amazing how different women are, and how cold-hearted and without any empathy or moral or humanity. She was immoral in several ways. Number one, if she did have a boyfriend, she was flirting with me hard, right? Number two, if she didn't have a boyfriend, she was just talking to some random guy. Why would she involve me? Why would she be, hanging out with me then? Why would she take me back home to her home from a nightclub? I don't know. It's just like women tend to, not all, right, but a very large quantity of them, especially spoiled American girls. Like spoiled American girls, especially the ones in New York. New York is a place with a lot of money, so you get a lot of girls who had everything handed to them. They're, they have whatever they want. They could get whatever they want, sort of thing. I was in front of an apartment building. Think about it this way, guys. I was in front of an apartment building that night, and the security guard who works in the apartment building, he comes out and he's wearing like a tuxedo, and he was actually really freaking smart. I was very respectful of this guy, and we were talking a bit, and he was explaining like you have to have a college degree to be a security, to work here. You can't, like a security or management, you have to be like educated to work in this building. Then I asked him so what's the significance of this building? Why is it so, why do you have to have like a degree to work management or security here? He told me that it's like this building is filled with a number of billionaires, and the average price of the apartment in this building is $15 million. And the most expensive one is over 40. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, oh my God. But here's the crazy part. As I'm standing there talking with him, I saw just this one girl with this goofy looking dude, very pretty, like college age girl, just walk into the building. And I was thinking to myself, wow, her parents must be, live there with her, right? And he says, no, she lives there by herself. Her parents actually bought her apartment for her. And I'm thinking to myself, holy shit. So her parents got her a several $1,000,000 apartment for her to stay in New York City by herself. Now, if you don't think that's insane, and if you don't realize how much this girl has gotten things handed to her, that's just crazy. That girl like that. So people like that who have everything handed to them, most of the time they don't develop character very much. They're not exactly people. They've never had to take, responsibility for things that have gone wrong for them, especially when they're girls, because parents place a lot less, responsibility on their daughters as opposed to their sons, right? So this girl, that's the type. She wasn't like, I don't think she was like that rich, but she was in that same sort of mentality of women. Like she was spoiled, grew up. She never had to take accountability for anything. She would do something real fucked up, and she'd just walk away, and everything would be fine. She's a pretty girl. So that's the type of person I met last night. Anyways, I was just want to tell that story, and I'm just amazed at how lacking in any sort of like human quality, like emotional qualities, so many women are today. Like in terms of empathy and virtue, so low in those qualities. It's crazy whenever I see it. All right, guys, later.